Hi guys, my name is Munazza Ahmad, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you guys about depression and how I dealt with it. So stay tuned. Let's get the fact right. Depression is real. If I talk about my experience with depression, I was depressed for good over 6 months. And I remember going to bed every night, not wanting to wake up the next morning. It was so hard for me, it was so hard for my family, and they tried to be there for me. And they told me that they understand, but I knew that they didn't know what I was going through at all because they didn't have that experience. Nothing that I did actually helped me because I was so low on motivation. I didn't want to wake up every morning. When I would open up my eyes, if I have to go to university, I would skip my university. My friends would try and reach out to me, try to make plans. I would skip those all the freaking time because I was so tired all the time. It's like as if I had given up on everything. And nothing mattered, to be honest. I was so disoriented when I went to work. It just didn't feel right. I felt out of place, didn't feel connected at all. In fact, I was numb most of the times. Didn't even know what it was like to actually feel like a human being anymore because I didn't feel nothing, right? From a person who's been really optimistic in her life, somebody who believes in reaching for the stars and stuff like that, and I just didn't know how to help myself. What I would do is I would wake up every single morning. And the moment I'd open my eyes, I wouldn't feel like opening up the curtains, and I would want to go back to sleep. And that's what I would do. I'd go back to sleep, wake up, and then I'd go back to sleep again. So I kept on putting myself to sleep, and I felt disgusted. I don't know, there were emotions that I couldn't really deal with. I felt like I literally have no control over my mind. And I felt like nobody can actually help me. Sometimes there are really no reasons. Like in my life was perfect, to be honest. I mean, I have a loving family. I was working at a place which I was very happy with generally. Otherwise, anybody would have been, because in terms of money, in terms of ambience, in terms of everything, I mean, everything worked for me. I had a great bunch of friends who really cared for me and were there for me whenever I needed them. So it's not like I was missing anything out. And yet, I couldn't help and feel so helpless, right? I felt like I was just so freaking stuck, and I would have these thoughts coming into my head and they would go around, and I just didn't know how to deal with them. And I don't know, I felt like it won't come to an end. And I was so desperate. Counsel myself. Being a counselor, I would counsel myself all the freaking time, and I thought, hey, you know everything that you need to know, and yet this is happening to you is something very new and yet very scary also. Here's a great news for you guys. Just because you're depressed right now doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to get out of it. Number one, which worked for me, get yourself medically checked. You never know. I figured out that I was depressed because my vitamin levels, especially vitamin D, had hit rock bottom. It's supposed to be, I think, over 20 or whatever, but mine had gone down to 6, which is why I was so tired all the time. Number two, stop pretending to be okay all the time. It's okay. It's all right. Reach out to people, talk to your friends, talk to your family members. You might feel like you're not being understood at that point, but just the fact that at least people know, they will try and be there for you. And that's important, because social support during times like that, even if you don't realize it that time, but it does help you pull out of it. Educate yourself about it, read upon it. That's going to help in a way that when you come out of that experience, you are going to be such an informed and more of a wiser version of yourself, where you do have knowledge and you can actually help others around you. So that entire experience is going to be a learning experience for you. And if somebody talks about depression, you can go like, hey, you know what, I can somewhat get what you're talking about. So educate yourself, delve deeper into it, find resources and sources that can kind of help you understand the entire process more. Exercise. I know you might be thinking, you gotta be kidding me, I can't even get out of bed and yet you're telling me to exercise. But I promise you this, it does help. It helped me. You seek medical help. There are certified psychologists who can actually help you, people who will help you in 2 different ways. Either they'll go for therapy, depending on your counseling session with them, they'll figure that out for you, or they'll give you medication. Either way, don't hesitate to seek medical help. That's pretty much it for today. I will see you in the next video. I really hope that you found some kind of comfort in it. I'm just telling you that this will pass. It's just temporary. If you want to reach out to me and share your stories, I'll be more than happy to listen to you guys and see what it's like for you right now. But let me just tell you one thing, like I mentioned earlier, there is hope. It does get better, so don't give up on yourself. There's a lot that you need to do in this life, and there's a lot that this life has to offer you, so be there to experience all of that. And this one will also be one of them that is going to leave you a lot more a lot poorer of yourself, to be honest. I wish you all the very best, and I'll see you in the next video.